Today I am going to speak on the unit commercial contracting. In commercial contracting, we are going to talk about legal issues in relation to commercial contracts. So there can be various legal issues in relation to the commercial contract, which is basically the comparing the stereotypes of contractual agreement made between the customer and the suppliers. So this selection looks at the different types of contractual arrangements between purchasers and suppliers. This is specifically about the contract, not the procurement procedures which lead to them. Most contractual arrangements can be arrived at through a process of direct negotiation or through a process of competitive tenders. The difference between these activities are beyond the scope of the section. Coming on to one of purchase, which is one of the illegal issues in relation to commercial contract. So what is one of purchase? One of purchase contracts can be used for the goods and services or goods. The key element of one of purchase contract is that it relates to a single purchase. Note that this is not the same as a single item. When buying goods, the one of purchase might literally be for the one thing, but it could equally be for the batch of things. It can be something as simple as the desk of, as complicated as the aircraft carrier. In practice, the more complicated the items being purchased, the less likely it is that one of contract can be used. So that's what is the one of purchase, which is one of the legal issues to be considered by the suppliers and the buyers in the commercial contract. Coming on to simple one of purchase, the simplest one of purchase may not have a formal contract at all. An example be that the marketing team needs some advertising leaflets for an event that have produced a mock-up for what they want. Phone the local printing companies to ask for a price, email across the draft and agree the delivery date. That is as complex as it gets. The goods are delivered. The invoice is attached or follows or gets read or gets paid for. Coming on to complex one-off. Now, complex one-off is what there is a distinction between the spot purchase of the simple ill items and the commissioning of a major project such as building a housing estates or buying an aircraft carrier. In one sense, these are potentially one-off purchases. A national government may well commission more than one aircraft carrier at a time, but it equally may not envisage a strategic need for more than one. Similarly, even if it would prefer to have 5-year constructions program, a local authority or a housing management company may only have funds to develop one state at a time. If the funds and the strategy allows, more efficient procurement options exist through the strategic alliance or the framework agreement. But the political and financial reality is that procurement efficiency is not always top of the agenda when the major capital investments are considered. So that's what is being considered as a complex one-off purchases. Coming for using the reasons for using one-off purchase contract. The reasons for using one-off purchase contract depends mainly on whether it is for the simple or complex purchase or in the case of simple items or services. The usual reason for using the one-off contract is spot purchase, untendered approach, low value spent, urgent need and lack of plan. Coming on to nature of the contract, warranties and guarantees. So these are the nature of the contract, which is warranties, guarantees, insurance requirements, specification requirement, minimum quality standards. When we say warranties and guarantees, if the one of purchase has a considerable lifespan and is a business critical, backup generators for the office is which uses the house national computer servers. Then coming on to insurance requirement, we say including professionals, indemnity, public products, liability, employers liability, and specific risk regarding pollutions and working at heights. Specific requirements on quality, timings, and delivery. Minimum quality standards on the business operations like catering providers, right, meeting lunches and extra. Coming on to next, which is again nature of the contract, building charge process. ability to extend the scope of the contract, ability to extend the duration of the contract, data security protocols. So these are the various things needed as a nature of a contract, which always says when it's ability to extend the scope, is the supplier able to extend any external specification and any extra benefits providing to the organizations? Then benefits of the purchase. When we say when benefits for the purchases, which includes the following: the ability to tap filling them or falling into the market price can be considered for the purchases. Then the complex contract, ability to narrow down the terms of one deliverable, right? Then covering the risk associated with the contract. Then coming on to next, with benefits for the suppliers. The benefits for the suppliers, if it's a one-off contract, it is on a spot purchase basis, right? Then if the purchasers regularly use one-off contract and total spend the specific benefits of it, definitely the advantage to the purchasers will be there, because it's a spot purchase where you are not going to plan for it. One then and there, the supplier is being supplied to the particular buyer or the client, right, at a lower prices, or the price is being decided by the buyer. Then there can be different types of framework for this kind of purchasing. It can be one single, which can be one purchaser directly to one supplier. It can be one purchaser directly asking many, contacting in a network with number of suppliers. 4 5 suppliers are in network with one purchasers, and they are getting the contract done. It can be many purchasers just contacting a simple supplier, one supplier, single supplier, because he is providing a quality product. He is very much specific about the what we say time delivery, payment, quality, everything. The specifications are being met by that particular supplier. So all the purchasers are literally interested in getting in contact with them. Then last one is many purchasers with many suppliers. So it depends. Okay, many purchasers, they categorize the various suppliers depending on what they are providing. There is specifications. So they think this one particular supplier is providing one specification, one particular essential qualities in a better way. So why not to go for that particular supply with this supplier? Other supplies, other things which the other suppliers are good at, we should go in contract with other suppliers. So these are the 4 different types of frameworks which the suppliers are and buyers get into a contract with. It's a one purchaser to one supplier, one page purchaser to many suppliers. It is many purchases to many one supplier, and many purchases to many suppliers. Basically, if you see, one purchases is number of companies, what they follow is they follow the one purchaser to many suppliers, as when the companies and the clients are very specific about the qualities, specifications, features, timely delivery, a value for the money in the contract. Then in that case, the purchasers, the clients, they are many, and they know who's that supplier, who's providing the right quality, who's providing the good quality, who's providing a better value for money in the contract. So they specifically concentrate on that one particular supplier. So that's like that. Okay, then when the quality and they want the in the contract the value for money, then the buyers will be, or many buyers will be concentrating on the same supplier, right? Whereas there are some particular buyers or the clients or the companies who are concentrating on the supplier wise, because it depends. Suppliers are having different kinds of different varieties of product. When varieties of products are there, those varieties are good in quality or not, in terms of specification, in terms of value for money, in terms of the standard which the client or the company have asked you to provide. The purchasers are specific about the quality, then only they'll get the value for money. So when that is being considered, is the supplier able to provide that kind of value for money or not? So that's all there for this particular explanations. What is being included in this is what we say presentation, is what we were concentrating on, what are the different legal things or the legal issues relation in the commercial contract. So the different types of purchases are written, which was a single purchase, which was a one-off purchase, which was a simple one-off purchase, complex one-off purchase, and depending on why these kind of, what are the reasons being used for these kind of purchases. And it always depends on what are the various natures of the contract. Depending on the nature of the contract only, the types of purchases can be selected by the buyer, by the client, right? So then nature of the contract has to be taken into. So with the help of the nature of the contract, when you concentrate, there are potential benefits with the purchasers, the buyers, the client, get it, to make it a successful. So these can be the various benefits which suppliers also get when you concentrate the nature of the contract and then go forward to get the contract, right? So for that, the types of frameworks which is being considered to get into the contract, there are 4 types of purchases which was lastly discussed. That's all for the presentation. Thank you.